How's it going today, guys? W After Hours here. In today's video, we'll be doing an oil change. This might be a 2-day video. We're going to need an oil change and flush on the four-wheeler now that you saw in the last video that we actually got it started. So, I'm going to oil change and flush. So what I'm going to do is I bought 7 quarts of oil, which is a little bit overkill, and 2 filters. But we're going to drain the old oil out, pour the new oil in it, let it run, stop it, drain out the new oil that's been going around, and put the new oil filter back in just to flush it out just in case. I know it runs really good and it sounds really good, but I just want to be double checked to be sure. So we'll get my oil pan out and we'll get this party started. As you can see, it looks pretty good. There is no metallic flake in the oil. I'm letting it drip into the oil pan right now. There's no metallic flake in the oil, which is a very good sign. There's no internal engine damage or anything like that. The oil just definitely need to be changed out. It's about time for it. So, I mean, it looks really, really good, so I'm happy about that. But like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up, run it for try to keep it running for probably about 10 minutes or so. And then 10, 15, I'm going to shut it off, drain out the oil, take off the new filter I put on it, the new oil, new filter. We should be good to go. That's my plan. Any contaminants are in the oil, I want to flush it out and make sure it's not there, if that makes sense. So let's get a new filter back on and get this thing filled back up and we'll be good to go. As you can hear, the engine is running beautifully. No weird ticks or sounds or anything like that. Running idling, this is off choke. On the idle, it sounds really, really good. So I'm gonna let it run like this for a little bit, see what it does. Run for a few more minutes, stuff like that. Then I'm gonna bring the oil stuff back down, see what it does. But it's running really, really good. I'm very happy with the outcome right now because that sounds really daggum good. I'm very happy with it. Side notes: I found out this when I was taking that apart. Someone put a Fram oil filter on this, guys. Do not use Fram. I don't care how cheap it is or how good you hear it. Everyone I've been told, mechanics, everybody, they hate Fram. They don't work right. They don't filter right. Use OEM or a very trustable brand. But she's been running for about 5-10 minutes now, and she's just purring like a kitten. So it's a good sign. It's getting all this, hopefully all the contaminants through, making it run really, really good. So we'll see. We'll see. The about 15 minutes or so run is done. I'm gonna let it cool off for a second. Then I'm gonna flush the oil out, like I said. Put new oil in it, just to try to get all the contaminants out of this motor. Ran like a champ. No pings, no knocks, no weird sounds, which I'm very happy about. It does take a lot of oil. I mean, I'm used to my dirt bike, which doesn't take that much oil. But these four-wheelers, even these old ones, take a lot of oil. From here, I'm going to start, after I get that done and wheel it back into its spot, I'm going to start taking off the box right here. This is the belt box, and see what's in that, see what we can do with that, because that, you probably need a belt, needs a linkage adjustment, stuff like that. So we know it runs, that's the main thing, and we're going to figure out the electric start so that way I don't have to keep pulling. I can do the electric start. It should be ready to go. We start putting this back together. We're going to put this, like I said, up on cinder block so I can take off the tires and the wheels and stuff the wheels and tires and stuff like that, and check for upfront stuff. I know it needs disc brakes and pads and stuff like that, so we'll figure it out though. It shouldn't be that bad. We'll figure it out. We're getting there, guys. We're starting to get somewhere. It looks like the oil drainage run thing, whatever we want to call it, worked out pretty good. Here's the new filter. Let's see here. Nothing metallic I can see inside the oil at all. So that is a really, really good sign. I'm very happy about that. Right now I'm going to let it drain out, let the motor cool off a little bit, clean up everything, button everything back up, throw oil in it, and then start it up, let it run for about a minute or two, then cut it off and call it good and start working on some other stuff. But that's an awesome sign. I'm very, very, very happy about that. I'm extremely happy that it ran good, no issues whatsoever. The new oil in, everything looks good, all that whole 9 yards. So now she's back in her normal spot. So we're going to start taking off the belt box now. We're going to get this off to see what's inside of it, see how bad it is, whatever the case might be. So we can get this thing moving and rolling. Like I said, I'm coming back up here with some cinder blocks and put it up on some cinder blocks so that way we can work on everything else, get the wheels off the ground, stuff like that. I got the bolts out, but I think this needs to come out. The footwell needs to come out to possibly get to it. I'm not entirely sure on how they want us to get to this. I'm about to take this bracket off too. I'm not entirely sure how they want us to do this. So it's getting late anyway, starting to get dark. So I'm gonna end this video I'm going to end it for tonight, and then tomorrow I'll come back and we'll see if we can get this thing to electric start. So it's currently actually about 2 days later. It's Labor Day, Monday. It's Labor Day, so happy Labor Day weekend, guys. I hope you all had a great weekend. Hopefully all are safe and made smart decisions, if you get what I mean. But anyway, so a little bit of update on the four-wheeler. We do have the electric start working. The reason why the gas tank's off is we thought we had a stuck needle and it was leaking gas out of the car. We fixed that. It wasn't that. My overflow tube was shooting up, so it was back feeding into the back of the car. But anyways, we have it off right now. So we're going to adjust this linkage. But this linkage, we're pretty sure is shot, so I'm going to get a new one. So that's why the gas tank's off. But the electric start does work. Come to find out, that little 90 battery, go figure, doesn't have enough juice. But this new one does. So I'll show you. See here, if it will just like crank over, show you all what I'm talking about. Turn the key on. Green light comes on. Put the choke on. Fires right up. There's a little bit of gas up in the car. Take the choke off. Purrs like a kitten. That's a good sign. Another good sign is I don't think we're going to actually take off the belt box. The belt box looks really good. The belt actually looks brand freaking new in it, so I don't have to replace that. So we're good to go there. So for today, I got some easy outs so we can take off these bolts up top for the brake system that's no feel whatsoever. Hopefully use the easy out to get out these crusted up ones down here to get this rubber off and get this part off, so that way we can take that off and we don't have to deal with those anymore. Hopefully. I'm not entirely sure yet. So we did, I got it undone. Definitely needed a drainage. It was that gear oil's been really, really old. So I'm going to let it drip dry. I poured some new of the gear oil, this gear oil right here, into it, kind of just flush out to see if there's anything in it. Looks like it came out all clean, which is a good sign. I think it had the right amount in it. I'll check my manual that I got on my iPad, and I'm really hoping and praying it did, but it didn't seem like that much. But I don't know how much these takes. Like I said, I gotta look at the manual. Cleaned up the little tiny skid plate on the bottom, just kind of sprayed some degreaser on it and washed it off, just kind of all the grub off of it. But everything's looking good so far. Hoping and praying it stays like that as we continue to put this ATV, back together. The front diff is draining. The oil on the front diff actually looks a lot better than the rear diff, which I'm very happy about. That looks really good. Once we get the diffs done, then we'll start to try to get that brake booster, the brake oil reservoir up top off, and try to get these side panels off right here while we wait on Colin to show up. And then we're going to put it up on cinder blocks. I got some more in the back of the truck. Put it up on cinder blocks right there. That way we can tear apart off the wheels and tires and see what these I think the rotors we're actually going to be able to save them. They're just rusty. Brake pads are a different question, but they're starting to come along, guys. We're starting, not on the final stretch right now, but we're getting to that point of we're starting to get there, and that makes me really, 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 really happy. Both diffs have been serviced. That one's good to go. I did spill some new diff fluid on the ground because that one is a pain in the butt to fill up. You have to take off this flap, but the bolts are probably screwed up on that, so I didn't want to take it off. So I found a way to do it. No big deal. So both diffs have been serviced now, which is good. I'm happy. They needed it really, really bad. Now we're going to try to work on the brake system of this four-wheeler. So I've got no front brake, and I'm pretty sure there's no fluid in this. So I got some easy outs for screws that won't come out. Pop that up. I do want to put it up on cinder block right about in here. That way we can just tear all the wheels off, stuff like that, and start working on it that way. Because like I said, new wheels and tires are coming in very soon, along with the new handlebar, and we should be good to go. And new brake lever for the back and stuff like that. That's to be continued. We answered a very important question just now. There is no brake fluid in the front brakes at all. I don't know if they emptied it, but we're going to have to pull these tires off, stuff like that. How to use a screw extractor on this one over there. And other than that, though, there is no fluid. That's what we were expecting to see, so that's nothing new. We'll get that fixed, and we'll see if it's leaking out or for some reason it's just not there. I don't know, so we'll figure it out. All right. These were on there quite a while. How we know that? I just took this breaker bar and this thing to get it off to pop them. So, it looks like they were put on by an impact anyways, which we're not really supposed to be doing, are freaking done, to say the least. Oh my god, yeah. The rotors we might be able to save. But the pads, they're definitely gone. I gotta get pads. Okay, those are done. I'm not really worried about these. But the steering's free, so that's what matters. Alright guys, we're going to see if we can get it to work. This is going to be our stopping point for right now. We got the brakes undone. We're trying to get it to bleed out, but it's not wanting to bleed out. We don't know exactly what's going on right now, so we got to try to figure that out. Might have a hole in the line. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. But other than that, that's going to be a stopping point for this video. If you like this series, make sure you stick tuned, because we're getting to the point, once we get the front brakes working and we get the shift linkage all right here, then it's pretty much putting everything back together, getting the new wheels and tires on it and stuff like that, and then we can start throwing plastics back on and basically have a running fuller. Of course, we got new handlebars coming for it because these things are warped and bent. But yeah, I mean, we're getting close. I mean, Colin remembers when I wheeled this thing in here, it was rough. But we got a running motor, which is the main thing, and all that. So I'm gonna take a steel wool to these discs and see if I can get them to clean up. So like I said, I think the discs are good at just surface rust, honestly. I've just been sitting so long. Divs are all serviced, so that's good. So those are good to go, and we should be good to go from there. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Join the TW After Hours family. Never give up on your dreams, and always do what you love.